Hello, I'm Jay Bowman, and today I want to share with you some of the highlights from our current forecast, as well as 3 related topics we think worth considering as you continue to drive your organizations forward. So let's start with the big picture. Our Q3 forecast for total engineering and construction spending anticipates growth of 3% by the end of 2023, a cool down compared to the 11% rise we saw in 2022. And for the remainder of the year, non-residential buildings and non-building structures will continue to be the industry's star players. And some segments will really take the spotlight in terms of double-digit growth. These include lodging, commercial, manufacturing, highway and street, and water wastewater construction, among others. However, not all segments are singing the same tune. And single-family construction is probably the most notable of those. We're calling for a contraction in single-family home construction in 2023 that will expand to include multifamily and residential improvements next year and on into 2025. Meanwhile, some other segments will just continue to grow at basically the rate of inflation. And some of the most notable ones being public safety, communication, and power construction, all with anticipated growth rates between 0 and 4%, thus signifying stability. Now that we've touched on the highlights of the forecast, let's turn our attention now to those 3 topics that we think will have a lot of influence on the supply and demand aspects of the construction industry. So let's start with inflation. I want you to imagine a fever breaking. That's the market right now. It's cooling, prices are stabilizing, but some areas of the market obviously remain hot. But this trend, if you will, is providing a much needed chill to an overheated market. And we would also say that this cooling trend is bringing with it more project cost predictability. Yet I would say we need to remain vigilant and really consider what hedging strategies we're using to mitigate risk. Next, let's turn our attention to our most valuable asset, labor. While the challenge of finding skilled labor has always been a characteristic of our industry, that challenge has become much more pronounced in recent years, particularly in the areas of heavy civil and industrial construction. And as the construction clock accelerates, we're in a race against time to fill those voids. Therefore, we would consider what our talent acquisition and retention strategies look like, as well as compensation. And last, interest rates. It seems we've been climbing this financial mountain for a while now, but we seem to be at the peak or fairly close to it. And as we near the summit, that brings the stability that dispels uncertainty. So from now on, it's about setting up camp and acclimating to the new altitude. I encourage you to download our full report at our website. This goes into more detail around markets and also the other segments. Better yet, speak with one of our consultants or bankers about how you can take advantage of some of the tremendous opportunities in the market ahead. And remember, the value of an idea lies in its use. Thank you.